You currently locked into the coldest podcast in the land. It's your boy, B. Jones, a.k.a. Bolo, and you know when I'm pulling up to the porch. I can't pull up without my dog.
What's going on, y'all? It's your main man here, Big Smitty, a.k.a. D Nice. You heard Bolo just said, this is the porch. Welcome. Back at it again, my guy, man. Another beautiful day, beautiful week, man. How you doing, brother?
Blessed, highly favored, man. Y'all know we can't come onto the porch unless we talk about God first. So God is good, man. I'm 10 toes down, brother. How's the sunny side of LA?
It's good, man. It's good, man. Out here grinding as usual, man. You know, came home, still got the polo on from being in the studio. I ain't have a chance to even get. You got fitted. You got the hat.
It don't stop. You know how to throw a hat on. You know, get right, get ready. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to change my fit mid show and come back. You know what I mean? So I can match your vibe. But nah, super excited, man. You know, for today's guest as well, man. Before I introduce her, we got to shout out Bet Online, man. Listen, right now is the best time of the year. You got football going on, NFL and college football. We got NBA starting up. Best time of the year, man, to go ahead and place your bets on Bet Online. Use the promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 25% welcome bonus. And I don't want to keep our guests waiting no longer, bro. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? This woman right here is someone with many talents. She's an athlete, a 5-time All-American, lifestyle fitness coach, a model, a content creator, and she's the host of a new podcast that's about to drop that we're going to talk about as well, man. The one and only Sabrina. Welcome to the porch. How you doing?
I'm doing good. That's a heck of an intro.
I tried my best, man.
Intros, bro.
My intro be fire, Bolo.
Getting ready. Hey, you ain't got no choice but to get ready, though.
Yeah. And I know I'm missing like 10 other things I could have added to the intro, but I didn't want to put everything at the beginning. I want to tease a little bit.
You covered a lot.
That's good, man. Well, how you doing so far today?
I will be happy when the day is over. It's late over here. It's almost 10 o'clock. I'm like a 9 p.m. bedtimer.
Yeah.
Because I like to get up really early, but I cannot complain. Today has been a very beautiful, productive day for me.
I love it. Hey, you're down south. Are you in ATL?
I'm actually right now in Cleveland, Ohio.
Hey, shout out to the land.
Yeah. Yes. Go Browns.
Go Browns. So it's funny. So I'm in Indy right now. The Browns, Cleveland Browns are actually playing Indianapolis Colts on Sunday. So I'm going to be at the game this weekend. So that's going to be cool.
Oh, that's pretty dope. It's in Indy this weekend?
Yeah, it's in Indy this weekend.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. We're gonna come. You know, we're gonna use this momentum. I mean, even though we don't really have a quarterback right now, we making some things shake on defense. So
that's a fact.
Quick side note, what's going on with Deshaun? Did you got any insight? I mean, I'm hearing the shoulder. Like I thought it was a 1 week thing. He'll be back. Now he's coming out talking about he don't know when he's gonna be back, and like
I think his injury was a little worse than he thought. And the bottom line is, you know, everybody wants to see him on the field, and I get it, but they will be devastated if he was done for the rest of the year. So him deciding to not come back until he has no pain when he's throwing, I think is an excellent idea.
It's smart. It's smart because, you know, obviously he forced himself in a situation like Joe Burrow did at the beginning of the year. You know what I'm saying? He started looking bad, and, you know, analysts going to get on him, and then here it goes. Like, he ain't 100%. Worth the money and that whole everything. So it makes sense, though.
They're already saying he ain't worth the money already, so don't give them more reason to say it. So
exactly.
I see it, man. I see it. So, you know, we can talk sports all day long, man, but we got to talk about Sabrina and kind of just learn more about you, your journey. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, during the intro, you do a lot, very successful in so many different areas. So a question we like to start off with most of our podcasts is one that's very simple. Who is Sabrina Parr? How would you answer that question? Take your time.
Sabrina Parr is a mother. She is an entrepreneur. She is a survivor. She is a woman that has been through so many things. She's very good at persevering. She is a personality. She is an influencer. She is a coach. She is a motivator. And more than anything, she is a woman of God.
Amen to that. That might be one of our best answers we've ever had, Bolo.
That's a fact.
You know, already off the show. So, you know, like I mentioned, man, you're somebody who like really is a grinder. Even us talking offline, you just came from one thing straight to this one. Like you're always on the move. where did this hustle come from? Like where did you learn this hustle from? Or has it just always been a part of you?
So I've always had a desire to win. I hate to lose. I know that comes from my athletic background. I was always a different competitor, just mediocre was never enough for me. So I always went above and beyond to be the best. And that just kind of transferred over to me as an entrepreneur. And I really have a desire to live a certain way on my own terms. So that just means that I have to do a lot of work, and I don't want to get caught up doing things that I'm not passionate about, that do not wake me up, that I dread doing. And even though there are seasons of entrepreneurship that, resemble that, the bigger goal keeps me going, keeps me focused. And above all, like, I like to prove people wrong. So hate drives me. Hate motivates me. I hear all the noise. I hear all the rumors. And on the days when I really don't feel like it, I think about those things and it makes me get up and keep going.
Absolutely. Now, how does one balance so many identities at a time, though?
They don't. I don't. I do a terrible job at it.
That's real. I mean, that's real. I mean, that's good to hear.
Yeah. I mean, there are some days I am really good at Sabrina the entrepreneur. There are some days I suck at it. There are some days I strictly focus on being a mother. There are some days where like I put being a mother to the side, just being honest. I tell my daughter sometimes like, okay, I need a day. Just give me a day. But the overall balance of it is knowing that I can't do it all at once. There are days I have to take off. There are days that I have to choose other things before others. There are days when I don't have anything in the tank. And I literally have to just sit down and be okay with that.
Right.
So when you're really just sure of the bigger picture, and I'm going to keep referencing the bigger picture, when you focus on that, you can have days where you're not balanced, your balancing act doesn't look that great, and understand that the next day can be a better day for you.
Yeah, that's real.
Nah, it really is real.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say it's just crazy how, like, you think about the world we in now with social media and like how people have these false images of being able to balance so many different hats. And then obviously they're influencers, they're entrepreneurs. So you got other people just looking at them as like motivation, like, let me try to live like they live, but not knowing behind the scenes, like they're really struggling with identities too. And you got, everybody else, as far as on the outside looking in, having this stress and this anxiety about trying to be perfect in all these identities at one time. And even, the people who's actually making it, not really handling it either. So it's just crazy to just obviously hear yourself, come forward and, say that, hey man, being able to battle so many different identities day to day play a big part, so.
Well, the goal isn't perfection. The goal is progression, so if I'm always progressing, then I feel like I am perfect, because I'm always having forward movement. And then who's measuring me? Like, who am I answering to? Like, I measure me, I know my worth and my value. So I'm the only one that can measure it. And when you just really focus on like how you feel and think about yourself, then nothing else really matters, and you can really have tunnel vision.
She's preaching right now. Let me ask you this. Do you ever at times get like, I'll use the word disappointed in yourself when you don't accomplish what you want to accomplish, like during the day or the week? Because I know me, like I said, you asked me before the show, you said you got the Coach JB show back there. It's like, is this the Porch? I'm like, yeah, it's the Porch. It's just I got the morning show. We got the Porch. I'm a producer at Fox. I got a clothing brand, and like I'm married, so I got a lot of shit going on. And for me, it's like sometimes I get discouraged when like I have a to-do list on my phone for every day, and at the beginning of the day, I feel like I'm gonna knock everything out. But oftentimes I get to the end of the day and I only knocked out like 3 of those things. And I'm like, dang, Darnell, like you lacking today. Like you was on the couch watching TV for an hour. You could have been on the computer grinding doing this. Like, do you ever go through those mental battles when you have to kind of like take a step back and appreciate the work you've done?
All the time. To be honest, I go through seasons very often. But and I don't want to sound really spiritual, but it's more so like the closer I get to God, meaning when I have stillness in my life, when I get very quiet and I read my word and I journal and I really can hear from him, those moments of discouragement help me become creative. So I use that to figure out a solution to the problem. So if the problem is I'm too busy and something's on my plate, I find a creative way to tackle those things or remove the things that are not as important. Or if I'm upset or just feeling defeated with some of my own choices, I forgive myself. I work through the process of healing and get back on, and just keep moving forward. But so feelings are real. They don't always tell us the full picture, but it is our body's way of letting us know something is wrong, And so when that happens, I can sit down and deal with it. And I'll be honest, there's sometimes like I don't go anywhere but like to the necessary places, take my baby to school, grocery store, whatever. And I shut down until I figure out a problem. Right. And my friends are like, you don't want to come out? And I'm like, I'm not going anywhere until I solve this. Right. And that is when I'm discouraged and I really just feel like this is my time to find a solution for that.
Got you. Now that's deep, man. I got a quick follow-up, Bolo, real quick. So you talk about forgiving yourself, and I wasn't even planning on going this route, but like sometimes God has put the energy in the room, and you gotta go there. So you talk about forgiving yourself, man. Talk about what that journey is like for you. Like we all go through different battles on our life throughout the years, throughout whether it's personal stuff that only we know, stuff in relationships, stuff in work, where you might have did something wrong, or you said the wrong thing, whatever the case may be. What's that process of forgiving yourself like for you? Because sometimes I do battle with that. And I think it's because for whatever reason in my head, I have a super high bar for myself in my life in every single area. I want to be the best husband. I want to make the most money, be the best I want to be the best at everything. And when I fall short, I get pissed, I get discouraged, and you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to forgiving yourself in any situation, what's that process like for you?
So for me, it's a lonely process. When I'm working through forgiving myself, number one, I have to get very real. And a lot of times it gets lonely because a lot of our friends will just agree with us, like not even because they don't want to go against us, but they have so much love and grace for us that it's hard for them to really say you did something wrong. Because they're like, oh, you're human. That's not a big deal. So, and sometimes I need that, but in times when it's like, I really know I messed up, I need to figure out why, like what was going on in my spirit or in my world that even allowed me to make this decision, mistake, or whatever. And so it's a lonely process because really it's between me and God and my therapist. Right. But as I'm processing through it, I realize I'm human. Like everyone in the Bible, every great human being on this earth has fell short, made bad choices, made mistakes. So I'm in great company. So now I figure out how to recover from that. And if I need to apologize to someone, I conjure up the courage to apologize. And I don't like to apologize just for the sake of apologizing. Like I needed to be sincere. I like to apologize with some sort of change, like, a changed behavior.
A certain action behind it, right? Like not just saying words. Right.
Exactly. So I figure out how can I do that? If, I have to work to get to a place where I can apologize with a changed behavior or some type of action. But it's just growth for me. Like that process, it feels like I'm growing because when I'm silent and when I'm still and when I'm forgiving myself, I'm literally writing down things that affirm me. Like I've acknowledged the mistake, but now I can affirm myself. And it's not to let myself off the hook, but it's to remind myself of the other good things that I still am and that I possess and how like I'm not damaged. And these are the reasons why you need to keep going forward.
Wow.
I love that.
Absolutely. So Sabrina, let's transition to more of the your fitness journey. So obviously I'm thinking about myself right now. Like I told myself, hey, I'm gonna work out 4 times a week. Then it went from 2, then it went from 1, then it went from, I'm gonna just start over on Monday. So obviously, funny, like all of us got something in common. We were obviously former athletes, right? So we become accustomed to the way we used to move, the calories we used to burn. And then now we're adults, so we face ups and downs. So I'm in the down moment right now. But obviously talk to us a little bit about, obviously your fitness journey.
It's exactly what you said. It is a journey, guys. And think about what happens on a journey. You get lost. You make the wrong turns. You make pit stops. You take breaks. You venture off to other things. It's really just a journey, but it's a journey that I continue on because I'm gonna be honest. Like, I love the way being fit makes me look and feel. Right. So it's a feeling that I constantly chase. You know, if I get too heavy, I'm not comfortable. You know, if my clothes don't fit the same, I like hide, you know, and it's like, I can't hide forever. I got to show my face. So the next time I do show my face, I want to be 5 or 10 pounds down. Like, it motivates me. I also feel like I don't want women. Now, I know I'm not the most attractive woman in the world, but in my mind, I'd be like, I don't want nobody to look better than me.
You better talk your shit,
And
Sabrina. Hey. I know I'm a good looking brother. You can't. Ain't nobody gonna feel good about you but yourself.
I'm not the most attractive, but I'm one of them. And in order to stay that way, I got to keep myself up to par. And so it keeps me motivated. Like, I don't ever want to. And then it's another thing. Like, I have little things that motivate me internally. So, like, one of them is I never want to look like the mom. And we know what that looks like. I don't ever want to ever be like, oh, well, she's a mom. So, like, no, I want them to be like, dang, she a mom? You know, like, that's the reaction I want. So I know when I'm starting to look real momish. So I'm like, all right, okay, we're gonna switch the food up a little bit. And I go through this a lot because I've had so many surgeries that don't allow me to move my body sometimes for months at a time. So, you know, I have to mentally get through that. But like, I always find myself getting back on track because I truly desire the feeling and the look that it gives me when I'm fit.
Yeah, no, I love that. It's powerful, man. I know you've been pretty like open in terms of like your social media. Like, you posted like a while back, like a before and after picture. Like, I think it was a 2013 picture of yourself, if I'm not mistaken, when you wasn't in the best shape, and then it was like a more recent picture when you muscled up, fit, lean, everything. Talk about just, I mean, you mentioned already that you don't feel good when you're not in shape, you're not healthy. What's the main difference though? Like, I want to dive a little deeper. Like, compare how you felt in that moment, 2013, or just in that time frame, compared to like where you're at now and how fitness has impacted your life in totality.
So back then, I had just had my second kid. I had 2 kids back to back. I was going through, not at the moment, but I was nearing a divorce, which means like my relationship wasn't as pleasant as I wanted it to be. That was strenuous on me mentally. And I just felt like it was a little easier to be unfocused, you know, because I had so much going on. I also sometimes, I'm gonna be honest, like, I felt like sometimes I deserved treatment because I didn't look a certain way, right? Like, I almost convinced myself, you know, oh, they don't have to treat you as good because you're not even treating yourself good. You know, like, this is the best you can do. But when I'm in shape and I look good and I feel good and I'm really confident, like, nobody can do anything to me.
Can't tell me nothing.
Like you cannot do nothing to me that I would not do to myself, you know? So I teach people how to treat me differently. And I'll be honest, like, when you're attractive, you attract things, you know, you attract more opportunities, you know, more people are more inclined to just want to say, like, what do you do? Like, how can we work together? You know, just because you're an attractive individual, because when you're attractive, you elude confidence. You know, it like spills out on you in a room when you're confident. So I just feel like my opportunities are always better when I'm caring for myself, when I'm looking good, when I'm not shying away from the camera, when I'm not focused on my midsection. Is it big? Is, you know, when I'm not trying to cover everything up. Now, I'm a modest woman. I don't really dress too provocative, but I know how to leave something for the imagination and still look very sexy at the same time. And I use that as my advantage, you know, and it's easier to do when I feel confident.
Yeah. That's real, Bolo. That's real. I mean,
that is real.
People want to make it seem like looks don't matter, and like
plays a big part. Plays a big part.
It matters. Like you just alluded to, Sabrina. Like, when you're an attractive woman or, you know, good looking man or whatever, people naturally just want to be around you. Just off that alone, you know what I'm saying? And then, like you said, that right there open a door up to a blessing you never even thought about. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's
so
crazy
true.
how those doors connect is wild. Definitely wild. So something that you mentioned too, Sabrina, I take one little small step back, but you mentioned a couple of times was the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? You said that a couple of times, and I had to ask you, for you, what is the bigger picture for Sabrina?
So my ultimate goal is to have my own TV show. And I know I'm going to get there so I don't trip on the roads, right? So, because we want it to be easy. We want it to be quick. We want it to be as least bumps as possible. And I know that's not reality. But I do know when I'm off path. So as long as I'm on path, I know that I'm focusing on the bigger picture. I know I'm going to get there eventually. And one of the reasons why I want my own show, not just to say that I have my own show, like I want my show to be impactful. I want my show to change lives. You know, I want to be able to be in charge of the narrative. You know, I want to be able to offer a certain level of stability for my family. I always want to feel like I'm doing something purposeful. And, you know, I went to school to speak, you know, communicating and public speaking is something that I really enjoy. I think I'm naturally really good at it. You know, it comes very naturally easy for me. And so it's a gift that I always want to continue to tap into.
I love that. Love that. So obviously, Sabrina, mom of two, right? You talk about how they motivate you. I am a father of two. So I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. So obviously I'm learning, you know, how they are so just their own human beings, but they have a little bit of you wrapped up in it as well. So it definitely hits home. But speak to us just a little bit about like how your kids motivate you and you know, having those two, like, you know, what it means for you.
So on my worst days, especially my daughter, because she's really like a little me, days I don't feel like it, days I'm not confident, days I'm discouraged, days I'm in pain, if I had surgery, whatever, I always remind myself that my daughter can't be who she is without me here. And I can't just be existing, right? Like I have to be thriving and living while she's here. You know, she watches how I operate. I am her example. So no matter what I'm going through, she's paying attention to how I'm recovering from it, how I'm getting through it, whatever the case may be. And so I can honestly say, you know, people always say like, oh, my kids are my motivation. No, it's literally like, she is the reason why some days I will get out of bed because I know like she needs me. Like she is my assignment while I'm here on earth. You know, my son spends a lot of time with his father, so I don't have as much responsibility with him, you know, unless he's just with me. But it's just different with a daughter, you know, because she's literally watching everything. She's listening to everything. If I'm down, she feels that, you know. So honestly, it's just like, I know what I didn't have when I was younger. I knew what I needed. And so I constantly remind myself, like, I have to give her what she is asking for. And then I also have to give her what she's not asking for, which means I have to really pay attention to what she needs and just be in position to be able to do that. And I can't do any of those things if I have an empty cup, you know? So that's why I have to always make sure I am filling my cup up because I have to pour into her.
Yeah, that's deep. That's the bar, Bolo, man. And one thing to kind of stay on that subject, but also pivot a little bit. So earlier when I asked you at the top of the show, I said, who was Sabrina Parr? One of the things that you listed was a survivor. And I know you've been open about, you know, a couple of years ago, as far as sharing your story when you found out you had I think a cancerous tumor in your ovaries. And I read an article or something where you talked about how like your kids played like a major role in terms of just keeping your spirits high and motivating you to go through the process. Kind of share whatever you're comfortable with, of course, but just the process of you learning that you had that and ultimately how you were able to fight through that and overcome it.
So when I even found out I had this tumor, it was like right at the beginning of outdoor season for my track team, but my kids were on the team. So they run AAU. I was coaching AAU. And so I initially said to the doctors, like, okay, I'm going to wait to have the surgery because I don't want to change my kid's summer, you know, and that was just really important to me, you know, like if I can just get through the summer, you know, get my kids in school and not. So I didn't even tell my kids. And there were some days, you know, my tumor would really bulge out of my stomach and they'd be like, Mommy, why are you fat? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I didn't really want to say the truth. Like, I'm just bloated. Mama just doesn't feel good today. But I really, you know, I wanted to set myself aside for them, you know, and thankfully it worked out. Like, I was able to make it through the summer. I don't think I got the surgery until September. They went back to school in August. Yes, it progressively got worse. I think at the time the tumor was like 6.5 centimeters wide. And by the time I got the surgery, it was like 12.5 centimeters wide. Yeah. So drastic change. But, you know, I could say to my kids, like, you know, just come lay down with mommy. Mommy needs to lay down. And they just understood that because they knew that I was giving to them. Like, I'm sacrificing my body and my health to be there for them because I felt like if I don't do it, who's taking them to practice? Who's going to cheer for them? Who's going to teach them? Like, who's going to be able to support them during this summer? And this is the one time they get to really do what they love. Right. So by the grace of God, you know, he carried me through that time. And then once I got the surgery, it was kind of like, okay, I have more help with the kids during the school year. So I could really just, you know, chill and heal for those 12 weeks and, you know, do it all over again next summer. But I do think that them watching me go through it really showed them how to be strong, you know, how to keep going. Even if they don't verbally express it, I know they paid attention because they later found out like mommy's sick, you know, we had no idea. And then I'm really good with asking for what I need with them. Like, you know, can you handle food for today? You know, and they would figure it out, you know, so I don't try to be superwoman, but I do try to do what I can, you know, as long as I feel up for it. And I think they honestly just appreciated that.
Got you, man. Wow. I appreciate you for even, you know, being comfortable and open, you know, sharing that. Like I said, I can only imagine, you know, the mental battles and going through that. And it shows your strength, man, you know, as a Black woman, man, like going through that. And the fact that you had the courage and the faith to be like, you know what, I'm going to wait till the end of this season. I'm going to be all right. And it worked out. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
It's like,
and a lot of people were upset. Like, why would you wait? You need to get it done. And I was like, you're not me. You don't understand what it would do for my kids, to my kids. Right. Because it's going to shut their whole summer down. I mean, it's summer. Like, yeah. They're going to literally turn into like caretakers for me. And that's not what I wanted for them. So, and then also it was like when I found out I was sick, I was just getting out of a relationship. It was just so many different factors to where I knew like I needed more extended time to heal and really process why I got sick, what was really happening when I really realized I was sick and was trying to like ignore it, you know. So I knew during my healing time, I had to get real selfish and I didn't want to do that during their time.
Got you, man. Nah, it's crazy, Bolo, man. Just listen to, you know, in one of your quote unquote darkest moments, right? Where you had every reason to be quote unquote selfish. Even in that moment, you were selfless for your kid. Yeah. And I think I mean, that's impressive. I don't know a lot of people who would be able to have that in that moment. I'm a very selfless person as well, but I don't even know if I could be able to, you know, to do that as well. And I'm the only one on the show. I don't have kids yet. So I'm sure having kids.
Oh, good for you.
Right.
Take your time.
Take my time. I'm listening to y'all though. You said the kids is doing all this and that. Bolo be on here, you know. My life didn't change. I'm like, should I do it? Should I chill? I mean, what we doing?
Just take your time.
Yeah, bro. Take your time, brother. Take your time.
Enjoy your wife while you got her to yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what my wife always said. Like she's like, yeah, I want to have a kid, at least a kid at some point, but she's like, I want to just enjoy being married first. So I was like,
yeah, smart woman. So smart.
So,
love that.
That's real, man. So let's try this a little bit, Bolo, man, and Sabrina here. So, you know, your Instagram. No one follows Sabrina on Instagram, y'all. You are missing out. I thought you just had a viral clip that I saw not too long ago online where you're like giving tips to women to how to, you know, take care of your man on football Sunday and how to leave him alone, man.
Come on.
Just talk to us about like how are you able to I guess come up with these ideas, right? Your social ideas, and then number two, just what led you down this path of like social media content creation and kind of going this route?
So I'll answer the second question first, as far as like what led me down this type of content creation. So, you know, I went through a transition this year. So I used to be really, really heavy on fitness. But this year I had 2 knee surgeries that really changed the way that I'm able to work out. I mean, I had one in November, I had one in March. They were both 3-month recoveries. My knee still isn't quite the same. I still can't run. I can't jump rope. And, you know, for the last 2 years, I was like the jump rope god. So, you know, so I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Like, who am I going to be? What am I going to do if I can't do these things? Because for years, it's how I made money, is that I was going viral off my jump rope videos. Yeah. And it really took some time, but like one day, it literally was very clear. God said to me, like, you could just be yourself and that will work, you know, and like your total self. Some of the stuff that I say on these videos are conversations I have with my girlfriends, or conversations I have with my male friends. So everyone knows I have an athletic background. You know, I worked on ESPN for 8 years. It's all I used to do was sports talk. You know, I was in the men's basketball league. Like, so this is the type of conversation that I have. So when God said to me, like, you know, you can, and I was literally, when I say I was asking God who to be, I'm like, I think one day I'm going to like share some of my journal entries, but I was literally like, God, I don't know who to be. I don't know what to do. And this is why I'm not doing anything. It was a period where on Instagram, I would like maybe post one every other day. And it would just be something random. It was not gaining any momentum. I was losing followers. You know, I didn't care. You know, I had no motion, right? I was very discouraged. Yeah. But during this time, I'm constantly asking, what should I be? Who should I be? What does this look like? And so when he said to me, be yourself, I remember that day, I think I was on the phone with one of my girlfriends, and I think she was like complaining about her fiance being at the gym too long or something. And I was like, girl, leave him alone. Like, do not ask that man to come home from the gym. Like, this is why y'all be getting cheated on, because y'all don't know when to shut up. And I just started rambling and just fussing at her. Yeah. And it just made me think, like, these girls get on my nerves. Like, why don't they know to just leave him alone? But it's like she don't have her own type of hobby, so she wouldn't understand how it feels to like be doing something. Because I was like, I'm gonna tell you right now, if a man tells me to hurry up from the gym, to do what? Like, what am I hurrying to? To come look at you? You know, like come to the
sit right next to you.
Yeah. So in that moment, I was like, you know what? I didn't have any makeup on. I didn't have lashes on. I was just like, I'm just about to go and record what I wanted to say.
That's real life.
It happened to be football Sunday. And I literally was just like, let him have the day. Like, he needs this time. And I need everybody to know this. And I had no idea that message was going to hit so hard. So I'm going to be honest, like, you know, I made the video, put my phone down, went to watch football myself, like came back to my phone. And I'm going to be honest, I thought like something had happened with my ex. Because a lot of times something happens with him, they tag me because my page was going crazy. And I was like, oh my God, he must have did something and they blaming me or trying to show me. But then I'm like, okay, I don't see his name. I don't see any shade room posts. I don't see, you know, any Hollywood Unlocked. So I was like, what is going on? And I'm like, oh, all these people are on my page talking directly to me about what I said.
Right.
And it kept happening like day after day after day after day after day. And I was just like, oh, well, maybe this is a message that men really wanted to convey and don't know how, you know. And people were calling me, and husbands were in my DMs like, can you please tell my wife this? Can you please come in my house? And I was like, Calais, we really get on their nerves. And you don't know that we're getting on their nerves. And that just led to me thinking of more topics. And so I just started asking my audience, like, fellas, what are some things that women do to get on your nerves? You know, ladies, why can't you be quiet? Like, why do you always gonna have the whole last word? You know, why can't he watch the game all day? Like, why does that bother you? Like, I'm asking these questions and I'm getting the same answers. And so I was like, okay, this is something that I can work with, because naturally I love sports. I love to talk sports. I'm kind of on the men's side a lot, which women hate, but it's like, I fully understand when your man is happy, he naturally wants to make you happy. And if he's not making you happy, most of the time it's because you get on his nerves. And if you can just get on his nerves a little less, then your relationship might go a lot smoother. Ooh. So, and infidelity is not anything that I've ever had to deal with in any of my relationships. Like, and when I say relationships, I mean like we've lived together or we've been married or engaged, or like we were really in the same home. Yeah. So I'm not talking about people I dated long distance or whatever. I'm talking about real relationships. I've never had to deal with infidelity, and I'm not bragging, but I know there's a reason for that. Like we had other issues, but him cheating and me, like, no, we ain't had those problems. And I think it's truly because, like, I really want to make sure he's good. And if he's not good, he knows he can come talk to me about not being good, and then we can fix it. So I just don't think we're selfish, right? We want everything about us. We're spoiled, we're emotional. A lot of women feel like if he's gone watching the game too long, that's a reflection of how he feels about her. That's not necessarily true. He may just want to get out the house. He may want to get away from the kids. He may want to be with his boys, or maybe he just don't want to be around you today, and that's okay. Like, he doesn't love you any less. So now I'm just having this, I'm in this space where I just want to continue to teach women how to, first of all, get healthy and heal, so you won't be worried about him so much. Hold yourself accountable, find something for you to do, find your own sport, whatever that is, and if you just can't fathom him being without you, learn the sport, study it, ask questions when the game is off for understanding, so you can then have dialogue with him. But just mad because he want to do something outside of you, like, I'm trying to get women away from that as much as I can, and and ultimately just help the relationships improve, because I don't like the divorce rate right now. Like, that bothers me. I don't like the separation rate. Every time we look online, somebody breaking up, somebody getting divorced, and I'm just like, we're doing something wrong here, and I'm just trying to fix that narrative as much as I can.
Damn, hold on. Can we just give her a clap?
Drops mic.
Can we just clap for a second? Like,
drops mic, y'all.
Hearing having a woman say that is powerful, man. That's all I'm gonna say. It's real powerful. Because if I say that, I'm the bad guy. If Bolo say that, you the bad guy. When a woman says that, hey, I ain't say that. I'm good. But she's
they listen. They're listening a little bit. I think the more I talk and fuss at them, the more they're like, okay, all right, maybe I can do. And I'm not saying that men are perfect. They are flawed. But we talking about you, sis. We gotta learn how to just focus on ourselves.
Accountability.
And I think that the more you focus on you and take accountability and improve, he will if he really loves you, he will naturally start doing the same for himself. Naturally. Or he'll reward you for the behavior.
That's a fact. So let me ask you this, Sabrina. How does your girlfriend group feel about that? Does everybody think like that in your friend group?
No, but they do know that this is how I feel. So if something is happening in their relationship, they be like, okay, so let me tell you what he did. And I'll be like,
girl, you just about to, I already know how you come.
And I'd be like, sis, you wrong. I'm sorry, I'm on his side, like, you got to fix that, and because they know I'm not biased.
Right.
So, and I should be biased, because if you my friend, I'm, more than likely I'm going to stick up for you. But it's like, I want your relationship with your man to last. So I'm going to give you the information I know the best of my ability to make, because I know a lot of the mistakes I have made in the past, and I'm listening to what the men are saying. If men are saying this bothers me, listen to him and don't do it so you don't bother him. Right. Not, well, this bothers me, and you be doing, that's when he checks out. It's like, okay, that may be true. He may be bothering you in his ear, but we're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that right now. We're not right now. Maybe tomorrow, but right now we're talking about, I'm sorry, keep going. I'm sorry.
So the more I hear this, I'm just like, okay, like, we got to get better. We got to get better in our communication. We got to get better at the not communicating. Like, it's okay to put stuff on the table and not address it. You know, like, just wait. Are you going to die if you don't talk about this right now? You know,
come on.
It's just
real.
So my friends, when they really are trying to please their man, which most of my friends do, they'll say like, okay, so you think I should bring this up? And I'd be like, no. But when we go, don't talk about something else. I don't talk at all. But don't not bring it up and then walk around with an attitude all day. So he'd be like, what's wrong? Just put it on the shelf. Okay. Find the right time, find the right space. And then he'll be able to hear you. Because if you say it right now, he's not gonna hear what you're saying. And you're gonna be more upset. Then you're gonna have another issue that you guys are fighting about.
You might be the savior. You might be the savior for relations. She just said something. She said, don't walk around acting like something wrong with you, knowing damn well the husband gonna say, "What's wrong, baby? What's wrong?"
Yes.
I know something
and he
wrong.
gonna say nothing.
Like I'm boo-boo the fool. Like I don't know who my wife or my girl is. Like,
right.
And then get mad. Why you keep asking me? Because I'm not dumb.
That's wild.
And now we Sabrina,
I also teach them the sandwich effect. And so, and this is something you may want to use on your wife. So, and I learned this in church. So when you have a hard thing you want to say, it could be constructive criticism. It can be a flat out disrespectful phrase, but you need to say it. Right. You sandwich that. So this can look like, and by all means, just know I'm not flirting. When the wives see this, just know I'm not flirting men on here.
It's the porch.
But I can say, man, I love when you wear your hat. Like your hat, I just like when you wear your hat. This looks so good on you. Like, I'm gonna buy you a couple hats that I really like. Oh, but babe, you remember how you had your beard and it was cut this way? You ain't had it cut that way in a long time. I kind of miss that. Like, I want you to get the beard back. Like, the beard really did something to me. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you put the hat on with the beard. Oh my God, you could take me down at any time. So I insulted you and I told you that I wanted you to fix something about your face and you didn't even hear it.
Didn't even feel it. Didn't even hear it. Nothing.
Hey, I feel good right now. I ain't hear nothing negative at all.
Still thinking about the hat.
Right.
But listen, if I take the hat away and I take the second part away and I just say, why you ain't got your beard the way you used to have?
Right. What you mean?
Yeah. Now you like, now she looking at every dude with beards, and now she ain't really feeling me right now. And that's why she probably ain't even want to have sex. Like, it's like you can't hear the message. So I teach everybody, like, just use the sandwich effect. If you need to talk about finances, you know, remind him of something that he did buy you or he did that was monetary that you love and you can't stop thinking about. Then throw in the fact that you're spending too much money. Then sandwich it with something else that he did for you that was monetary that you really enjoy. And then he can receive it better. But us women, especially Black women, we just be like, you just gonna spend all the money? Right. Give me the car. Cause you ain't doing it. Just give me the car.
And the thing about men, like we need our egos. Like, you gotta boost us up.
Pat us on the back.
Even on a little bit. You gotta just make us feel good. That's just how we operate. So when you're doing the opposite, it's just gonna naturally like bring us down, bring your confidence down, which is gonna lead us to react in different ways. Now I'm yelling at you because I'm feeling insecure about something, or you know what I mean, whatever the case may be. So when you sandwich it, the man like, you know what? Okay, like it's almost coming off as like a compliment. Now the next day you might be thinking, so damn, she didn't really like my beard, did she? But she the way she delivered it, you like shit.
I'm gonna get the beard and the hat.
You know?
Yeah, and I do this with kids, especially kids are really emotional and sensitive. And I'd be like, baby, you look so pretty today. Oh my God, look at your hair. But you know what? We're not gonna be able to notice your hair if you don't brush your teeth. You gotta brush your teeth just like you brush your hair. So get in there and brush your teeth so your mouth can look as pretty as your hair. And then you're gonna put your pretty outfit on. And it's like she can't hear that I'm making her go brush her teeth.
Right.
And then I'm mad about her not brushing her teeth. Like, and I don't take credit for this. I learned this in church. I use it on everybody. They don't even know I'm using it on them. You can really use it on your wife. If your wife being a little lazy and she ain't been to the gym lately, this is a good way. If you use the sandwich effect, you might be able to motivate her a little bit.
I'm gonna try this shit tomorrow on everything. I'm gonna try.
Wait, but you gotta give us an example though. How we
so for example, babe, you remember when we went on this cruise and you had that one? Wear that swimsuit. I want you to pull that swimsuit. I'm gonna take you somewhere. I want you to wear that swimsuit because that swimsuit was looking good. For real, babe, you like that swimsuit? I wasn't good in that swimsuit, wasn't it? Yeah, you know what? And before we go on this cruise, I'm going to the gym with you. We're going to drop some pounds together, baby. We're going to get tight.
Hey,
so you can get back in that
okay.
swimming suit. She didn't really
Never. That's
hear,
funny.
oh, so I'm fat and I need to go to the gym.
Right.
She didn't really hear
That
that,
is
you know, and
hilarious.
you ended off like, woo, you might get pregnant when you put that swimsuit back on after this, baby.
That's my line right there.
That's wild.
I'm the only one here with no kids. I'm like, you gonna get pregnant, girl, fuck with me.
That's wild.
Right, but that's an easier way of saying like, okay, you done gained a couple pounds. I need you to get that off you.
No, I'm just, you know. Yeah, the sandwich effect. Definitely taking notes. Y'all getting gems on the show. All right, fellas. Anybody, this is great stuff.
For anybody.
Because sometimes I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes I come in firing. She gonna come in firing, I come in firing. Then we both firing.
Hear that.
And then Sabrina, here's the term that really sets me off too. And guys can attest to this: gaslighting. I'm always gaslighting. That word just literally just sends like chills down my spine. Like
explain that to the viewers who may not be used to that, Bolo, real quick. Explain it.
No, I want Sabrina to explain it just because there's so many different things behind the word gaslight. You can do so many things that can correlate back to that word. I just want to really figure out what that is in its totality, I guess.
So it's not a word that I ever use because it's almost like what you're accusing the person of doing, you're doing to them by even saying you're gaslighting me. Ooh, okay. You know, and so it's a very contradictory word, but again, it takes the accountability off of the person and puts it on the other person. And it's an easy way to just shift away from me not hearing what you said because of how it made me feel. And it's like, that's all gaslighting is. Like, I don't want to hear what you said because now my feelings is hurt. You know, and that's not fair, you know, so I don't use it. I also am a firm believer in relationships of writing words down that we cannot use with each other because we have our own trigger words. So for you, if gaslighting is a word that you don't want your wife to use, and to say, babe, what is the word that I use that you can take away, that I can take away if you take away this word? So now we got to get our vocabulary together because you can't use that word no more. Let's use something else. And then I'm not going to use this or whatever, because she'll be like, well, you use whatever, you know, okay, let's take those words away. So now the weapons are down and you really have to fight a fair fight.
That's real. That's real right there. She's dropping real. Speaking of words real quick, how you feel about the word submissive? Ooh. As a Black woman, keep it real. It's the porch. So keep it real.
So I will be 100% honest. I understand what the word means. Okay. And I'm not very good at it. Because sometimes it makes me feel like I've given away my power. But the only reason why I'm not good at it and I don't feel good about it is because I haven't came across a man that I wanted to submit to. Because when I think about what the word really means, it's my job. It's something I'll look forward to if he's leading me. He don't have to even be leading me nowhere. If I just simply respect him as a man, it is my job to submit to him. Period. Wow. Now, if he leads me somewhere I don't want to go, he's taking responsibility for that. It's just my job to submit. And submit doesn't mean I'm giving my power away. Submitting to me honestly means I'm acknowledging his power. I don't have to lose mine. You know, so we can both be powerful individually, but as a man, I should want to submit to him. I think the reason why the word is so frowned upon is because women have tried to submit to men that they were not supposed to submit to, that weren't honoring them as women, that weren't taking care of them emotionally, that they didn't feel secure with. And so it gave it a bad rep. Like, well, I submitted to him, he was cheating, you know? So it's like, they don't want to do it. And also the reason why I struggle with it is because I did not grow up with my father. I didn't grow up with my mom, watching my mom submit to a husband. You know, as an athlete, let's be honest, female athletes are taught to be tough, to be competitive, to be a beast. They're not taught to be submissive. You know, like they don't say, all right, go out there and submit to your opponent. No, they like go out there and knock her head off, you know? And so that was my personality for so many years. And sometimes that translated into my relationships. But when I have a man that says, yo, you cannot talk to me like this, now I'm like, oh, okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. I can't, but it takes a powerful man to say that. Some men won't say nothing. They just be like, I ain't dealing with her, but me being a real woman, I have to acknowledge there's a place to turn it on and turn it off. And so, and I have submitted, even in my marriage, there were plenty of times where I had to submit just because it was my job, even when I didn't feel like it. And I think that's what marriage is about, like doing stuff you don't feel like doing that you got to do anyway because you signed up to do it. It's just like a job. It's just like any other contract. You have to do it because you signed off on it. But we don't know that we're signing up for that when we get married. We think we just signing up to be in love, and that's a whole nother topic. But there's times where I didn't do that well at continuing to submit to him because I lost respect or I felt like he disrespected me, So I think it's a task that women have to continuously learn and get better at so that they can continue to want to do it. Because it's naturally, so I believe that anything in the Bible that's instructed of us is hard, right? He wouldn't put something in the Bible that's easy. It'd be a waste of paper. So when it says, husbands love your wives and women and wives submit to your husband, he's giving those instructions to us because it's a challenge. He knows it's not easy for men to naturally love their wives. They're not emotional like that. And he knows that women, it's not easy to submit to a husband because she's not wired like that. So it's a task we have to learn how to do on both ends. But again, I like to be responsible for me. So the way I learned how to do it is by falling, messing up, getting checked, studying the word, really studying what a Proverbs woman looks like. How is she described? Are people describing me like that or no? And if I'm really honest on my assessment, that's how I can fix it. Like, okay, it don't say nothing in this Bible that she talk back, she be yelling, she loud. It talks about how she's up all night. She provides clothing for her whole family. She goes to develop relationships and does contracts on behalf of her family. It don't say nothing about her staying at home, getting taken care of, y'all. That ain't what a Proverbs 31 woman is. It's just the Bible. I didn't make it. I'm just reading.
You didn't write it. You didn't write it. She just gave the facts.
She's making her money. She's impactful. She represents her husband well. She takes care of the family. She provides and makes sure they have everything they need. So I always think back, am I a reflection of this? How well am I doing? Because I model to be that type of woman. And I feel at it a lot, but this is what I can refer back to say, okay, how well am I doing with this? So again, we don't like the word. We think it makes us lose our power. And I think that as women start to be more accountable for who they are and their actions, whether you're submitting to a bad man or not, you're not going to feel as defeated because you're going to know, well, I did my job.
Yeah. And my thing is too, as a woman, like you chose that man. So like,
correct.
You always hear women say, well, he didn't deserve for me to submit. Well, why'd you get with him then? Don't
Leave
get
him.
with a man who don't deserve it.
Leave him.
Yeah. So if you chose him, then go
outside of your husband, because you can't just leave your husband. But while you're dating, it's like, since you have an out. Like you don't have an obligation to stay. You stay and complain. You can leave and be quiet. Like you really have two choices.
Right. No, that's real. That's real right there, man. And I know you mentioned that obviously you were married, and you were also engaged, I think once after that as well. Do you feel like in your personal relationships that not being submissive played a factor in like those, going the route they went, or was it completely different scenarios?
I do think that now and I'm not just saying this, but I don't think I was the cause of my divorce. Right. I do believe that there were things within the relationship I could have done better to help resolve conflict in that moment. Got right. It. So if he's really escalated and flipping out, I could have not gone to his level. I could have chose to be water for the fire, put the fire out, not come on his level, which then creates an even bigger issue. Ultimately, with my husband, he's a great man. He is a great father. I don't like to really say much bad about him because he's such a good father. I just don't think we were ready to get married with each other, period. And so we were trying to force something that was never supposed to be. And it was very frustrating on both ends. So if two people are just always frustrated, it's not going to ever be a happy ending. With my past engagement, I think I just stayed too long, because anytime I feel like I can't be my best self for whatever reason, I need to leave. Right. So if you're doing things that are making me feel a certain, not even feel, like if I'm cussing you out or I don't have respect for you verbally, if I feel like I don't have to honor you, well, I'm not being my best self, which means that I'm not treating you the way that you should be treated, and I should leave. If I'm not going to change how I'm treating you, then I should leave. And I think that I just stayed too long, because I did get to a point where I just had a hard time respecting this person, because of how they were acting towards themselves or whatever. Yeah. And I do think that men deserve respect, no matter what. If you're going to have them in your space, you need to respect them. If you cannot respect them, you need to leave them alone and get them out of your space. So I am happy that I did not move forward and marry him, even though we were engaged, because I felt like it could have led to another divorce, or I could have just stayed in the marriage because I didn't want to get divorced, and we would have just not been happy. So I'm glad I learned my lesson and got out before, we really said I do.
That's real. You believe in one true love? Like there's one true love for everybody in life?
I don't. I think you can love multiple people. And I think that there is somebody who is the best for you, though.
Okay.
And because I think there's just so many different things that you can love about a person, but that doesn't mean that they're necessarily created for you. And I just believe that people are for seasons, and we don't want to admit that. Like, we could have had some great relationships, but it was just for college, for high school, for, early adulthood. It didn't have to mean it was forever. Like, I try to tell women, like, every guy you fall in love with or you date is not your husband. Like, you have to be okay with that.
Right.
Stop feeling defeated if the relationship did not work. Like, it could have brought you something that you needed, though. It could have worked for that season. So I do feel like you can come across love in so many different people, but the one that you choose that's best for you is the one that's going to work.
That's a good ass question, Bolo, because it really makes you think. There's billions of people on this earth, literally.
Billions.
So it's like,
and you mean to tell me it's only one that's for my soul?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but I'm saying though, I'm coming from a point of like, I mean, because that means you meant to be. Like Sabrina, like you may meet somebody 2 or 3 years from now, and that's your true love. Like you finally get to the point where like this was the person that was meant for me. Like I get like you go through pit stops and you love certain people, but I feel like there's only one true love though.
Like I just disagree with you because if the ones I loved before, does that mean that love wasn't true?
No, I think it was true, but I think it was just getting you prepared, like you had mentioned, for your true love.
Well, I think that we might be saying the same thing.
Yeah, I think so. But maybe
I think that
maybe if I change the word love to maybe like a strong like connection too, because I think when I'm saying love, obviously through those pit stops, it's kind of sounding the same. But I just think you always are getting prepared for like the next best thing, and like the last thing, typically for me in my brain is like, okay, one and only, like that's like the true love, in my opinion, I guess. So
yeah.
Well, you're married, so I understand where you come from. I hope you never have to experience divorce.
I would.
But I can honestly say, like, in my last relationship, like, we were really in love. We really loved each other. We really felt like this is it for us. Like, there's not anything else in this world that we want.
Right.
And so when that didn't happen, does that mean that it's over with? Because that's how I felt in those moments.
Yeah.
So
that's real.
Yes, I could have learned a lot from this person. I still have a lot of love for this person. But guess what? There's somebody else that I can also love. There's someone else that can also love me. I also feel like, am I only good enough for one person to love me? Absolutely not. I feel like anybody that I come across and I really invest my time with and really give my best self, they're going to love me.
Right.
So I don't know. I just feel like
that's real. That's deep. That's deep. I I like that.
You think of it from that angle, it's like, damn, like the qualities that I bring to this earth that I
you mean to tell me only one person?
Right. Like one person in the whole.
Like, of course they're gonna love you.
It's like places I ain't even been yet. I ain't been to China yet. They don't even know about your boy yet. You know what I'm saying? So that's interesting. This is a kind of a complete side note, but before, and I know we getting late, so I'm gonna go to our final segment here soon. But do you believe, like, or what's your take in the whole, because this is big now, the whole polyamorous relationship? Because like you're not saying that right now, of course, but like in that route, and like those people who's in that community, they believe in the whole like multiple people, loving multiple people, dating multiple people for different purposes. Like what's just your personal take or view on that? Is that something that you could ever see yourself doing, or not? That's not you.
No, I could never see myself doing that. Just because like I feel like sometimes my ego is just as big as a man's. And I think it just comes from the athletic side of me. Because we don't see we don't see multiple men in one woman. There's a reason. You know, like
that ain't gonna work. That ain't
you know, I'm the girl that's kind of like, I can see myself with two husbands, right. He gonna do this, she gonna do that, you know, but for my ego, no. I do understand women that do it though. Like I get it. Because a lot of women they're already dating a man, sharing a man.
Yeah.
You know,
Thanks.
like, and they know it. They don't like it, but they're doing it and they're going to keep doing it.
Right.
But I think people misconstrue poly as just having multiple women with multiple wives. He's married multiple women, which means all the women have benefits. They have a certain standard. They're on a certain level in his life. Men are now saying, oh, I like poly because he want to sleep with 5 women. You know, it's like, no, you're just cheating. You're just sleeping around and it's not the same thing. Are you taking care of all 5 women or all 5 women in your home or all 5 women carrying your last name? You know, if not, then that's not what we're doing. So I also feel like a lot of women that are okay with that, they may not be as secure with themselves as they pretend to be, because I feel like I deserve one man to myself, you know, and because you don't want me sharing me. So why would I want you sharing you, you know? So if we can both share, let's rock out. No man is really going to agree with, oh, as your husband, you can also go sleep with another man.
Right.
He's not agreeing to that.
Hell no.
But hold on,
exactly.
but you just said let's rock out. So hypothetically, you saying if your man did say that, you might consider that. Possibly.
Well, I honestly don't think I would be okay with a man wanting to share me, because I feel like you don't love me as much as you say.
Right.
The point I'm making is there's a reason why men are not doing this the other way around. Ego, power, control.
Yeah.
You know, a man that has multiple wives, he's a powerful man. He's in full control. If I have multiple men, well, guess what? I'm in control. You know, you got to submit to me. Like the roles have reversed. So I think it works for who it works for. I personally know my personality does not fit that concept because I'm legal.
I feel that. Let me ask you this before we transition, D-Nell. So obviously, you mentioned you really more than likely you take the side of a man, right? So
yeah,
I guess for you, when you're getting in these relationships, does a man have to match your energy or be a little bit more dominant than you? Or are you okay with the man being a less dominant than you, seeing that you do have this big personality?
Great question.
So I think naturally some of the men that I picked in the past, they were less dominant and it really didn't work. I didn't know it wasn't working, you know, because he's less dominant. I'm more dominant. It's just how we're flowing. But I feel like every man wants to feel dominant. He wants to feel that, you know, whether he knows how to demand it or not, he does want to feel like he is in charge. And I feel like at times it can emasculate him. Even if I'm not doing it on purpose, my tone, my body language can just come off like too dominant. So moving forward, I really desire a man that is more dominant, or at least can coach me on how to be less dominant, and just in a very gentle way. Like, babe, you ain't got to be this loud. You ain't got to, I got this,
he got to sandwich that thing.
Yes. Literally. Because it's time, like, naturally, I'm an athlete, I'm a coach, I'm a mother. Like, there are times, like, even in a restaurant, I'm the girl that's like, let me speak to the manager.
Take it back. Take it back.
Is that you, Sabrina?
Oh, it's cool.
I am the let me speak to the manager lady. But when I have a man that says, I got it, cool, I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna watch you have it. I want you to have it. I don't want to do it, especially if I'm sitting with a man, but something needs to get done, So
right.
Just like I want him to be dominant, I have to do a better job with being less dominant and just taking the lead and just chilling out sometimes, because I know my energy can be a lot. But I need him to speak up and say, all right, you can relax. I got this, And I think that just stems from, again, the way I was brought up, how I trained as an athlete, how I was groomed to be the type of athlete that I was, very dominant, very aggressive. I always was a captain or something. I was always in charge. And it's a little exhausting. So I'm waiting for a guy that's really like so dominant. I can just sit back and be like, I ain't gotta say nothing. He gonna take care of all that. So I can just play my role and be in my lane.
I like that. That's deep, man. That's deep. And I'm sure that, and I'm not only sure, I know that man is out there. I don't know your situation right now. I don't know if you sing, I don't know if you're dead, but if you single, I know that man is out there. He might be listening to the Porch right now, Sabrina, so get your mind right.
When people ask me, you single? I be like, it depends. Sometimes.
Depends.
Hey, you live in your life. You live in your life, Sabrina. That's all that matters.
But no, honestly, I am single, and I'm going through a season where I'm being very strategic on how I date, because not that I feel like I don't have a lot of time, because God willingly, I do feel like I'm still young and I do have time. But the time I have, I don't want to waste it.
Right.
And so I try to notice things very quickly about me and the other person, so I can fix it, so I can transition out of it. And trust me, y'all, like, I'm still working on so many things with my own personality. And I'm not scared to say that, because life is a journey. We're always getting better and improving. And it's a certain person that I want to be when I'm dating. I don't ever want to date when I feel like I need too much from you. Like, if I need you always on the phone with me or whatever, then that's like, okay, that's a reflection of where I'm at. Something that I'm not filling up for myself that I'm requiring you to do. And that can become exhausting. So, I just take self-assessments all the time, and I check myself and I'll be like, yeah, I'm not ready. So right now I'm just really in the season where it's like, I'm open to dating. I'm open to it, but I'm being very selective with how I'm dating and who I'm willing to date. Now, years ago, I was kind of the girl that's like, oh, he asked, I'm going.
Right.
Now I'm like, okay, so are you okay with me staying in my hotel room? You not coming there, us not sleeping with each other? And he like, forget it. Okay, well, great.
Right.
Save me a trip.
We save time, we save everything. Right.
Yeah, so I'm really okay with saying that now. Like, let's get to know each other on the phone before I even come see you, or you come see me. I'm not in a rush. I'm not pressed. I can't be, impressed anymore by money and trips. And it's like, I done dated some folks. I done had some of the best stuff y'all can offer to me. Like, facts. I need to check your spirit. I need to see what you really got going on. And it's hard to do that when you just wine and dining me. We had dinner, we drinking. It's like, there's no substance in that.
Right.
So, that's the season I'm in. And so I'm very single, and this is how I'm dealing with my singleness. But I'm open. I'm open to getting to know a really decent man.
Hey, Bo, Sabrina said she want to know your spirit. She didn't be in wine and dine. She basically saying, fellas, first date, you could take her to Applebee's. She's not tripping about the two.
Well, no, don't take me to Applebee's. But so did you see the video of the girl who refused to go on a date because it was Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah. Hold on,
Cheesecake Factory is
I don't know about her, but I love me some Cheesecake Factory.
Me too.
You could have got, baby, you could have ran that
gumbo
up.
You could have got some of that Cajun chicken pasta.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna get me 2 appetizers, give me a good drink,
Get them
me
egg
a main
rolls.
course,
Egg rolls
and
be
give me a good
banging.
piece of cheesecake.
And the cheesecake be fat, don't it? God,
She's tripping. She was too much for me, and I'm bougie.
And she was doing too much. She wasn't eating all that.
Cheesecake Factory, especially is because from what I saw, they missed the reservation because she was late or something.
Come on now, sister.
Why are you that entitled?
And then what are you bringing respectfully? What do you bring to the table to?
They may not like that I say this, but she wasn't even that fine.
Sabrina, you said
Come on, she wasn't even all that.
I mean, if you was like super fine,
all that extra shit, girl, get out my car.
Baby, you gotta know, you gotta pay your way now. Like you gotta know what you're rocking with. Yeah. Sometimes you may only deserve a Cheesecake Factory.
Right.
But no, like I'm not the girl that's like against Applebee's, but like a first date, I typically allow the guy, because I never know his financial situation, right? Okay. And I don't want to assume. So I always allow the guy for the first date to choose where we're going. And that usually gives me an idea of at least the things he wants to be able to do for me.
Wow.
Okay.
So that's a big statement. Because maybe, what if he ain't trying to do too much?
Then they probably ain't the right person for her. See, the thing is, you've dated and you've been in a relationship with some high financial level people. Let's say that.
Yes.
So
right. There's a certain
like it's kind of the bar is set kind of high. Like it's
right. And
so they should know. They should know.
They approach them.
Right. They should know. That's a fact.
So this is my thing. Like if you watch me on social media and you know a little bit about me, you know the type of things I'm already used to. Now, I'm not saying you have to do all those things, but I know certain men that are out of my league right now. I'm not fooling with them. I understand this and I'm not upset about it. And it inspires me to get in their league. Like I have guys in my head that I'm like, I'm gonna get him, just watch. He don't even know. You know what I'm saying? But I know I'm not ready yet. So as a man, if you know what I'm about, don't come over here not ready. Don't come over here trying to force me to like Applebee's at 2 for $25 when you know that's not where I even take myself.
That's real.
Damn, so Sabrina, we gotta have you back because I know we gotta have you back on again because like I got so many more questions now. Because like you say you're not in the league of certain dudes, but who says that? Because a lot of men, we ain't really tripping if our woman is making a whole bunch of bread. If we got money, we just want a good woman who gonna look good on our side, take care of
not this one. Like, she said not this one.
That's not how I feel about myself. Like I want to be able to compliment my man in other ways than looks. Like if we go into a room and we want to do a business investment, I want to be able to put my money up too and it be impactful. Like I want it to be big enough to where it's not like, hey, put that away. You ain't like no, let me go half with you, or this is my relationship. Like this is my contact. I'm gonna get you in this room, and then you work the room once you get in it. Like these are the type of things that I want to add value to with my man. And there are men out here that I'm like, I can't offer him anything right now. Not anything that's going to be sustainable. Because guys on that level, they can get any girl they want.
Right.
All the women are beautiful. They're exotic. If they naturally not pretty, they didn't bought some stuff. You know what I'm saying? They got the look. He can have sex with anybody he wants. He can have them at his beck and call, drop of a dime. So what's the difference between me? How do I separate myself from those people?
How you own.
That's real.
Something about my spirit, something about my work ethic. It all depends on, it's about things I've done before him, not things I'm going to do once I'm with him. So all the things that I've done before him is what's going to add the value to him. If I've done anything and I'm waiting on him to link up with me so then I can finally do something, I'm a liability, not an asset, so I want to be a liability. I want to be an asset to my man, and some of the men that I look at, I be like, oh, I ain't ready for him yet. So let me keep working.
Got you.
And I feel like in my pursuit of work, he gonna notice me.
Right. Just naturally, because it's that energy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Naturally, you attract. What you say earlier? You said you attract. It was something you said. It was a bar, but basically you attract what you attract. So
yeah.
I love that, man. Let's move to our quick hitters, man. It's our final segment. It's just some a couple fill in the blanks, a couple true and false. When you respond, give 1 or 2 lines and we'll go from there. Bolo, I'm gonna have you start it off and then we're gonna just go back and forth.
Let's get it. Okay, fill in the blank, Sabrina. The way to Sabrina's heart is blank.
Consistency.
Ooh, okay, be consistent, fellas.
Gotta be consistent in everything, for real.
Everything, discipline. Okay, next one. If you had one thing to drop, if you had to drop one thing for the rest of your life, which one are you picking? Fitness or sex? You gotta drop one, Sabrina, no matter what.
I'm gonna drop sex.
Oh,
are you sure? Real quick, tell us why, real quick, like a couple lines. I'm just curious.
I just feel like fitness is way more valuable. I've never had any issues from fitness.
Everything there to help you.
Gets me in a world of trouble.
Yeah, that's real. Okay, Bolo, you jump in next.
Okay, what are the 3 mistakes from a man that you can never forgive?
Woo! Physical abuse.
Oh, definitely.
Sexual abuse.
Oh.
And never forgive. I'm graceful. There's a lot of things that I can forgive, but a third, never forgive. Disrespecting my children.
Oh, those are 3 top tier. I don't think can't nothing beat those top 3. Shit, those.
Damn. Ain't no discussion with that.
Yeah,
Facts.
for sure.
For sure. Some women would have come on here and be like, cheating, you definitely, but Sabrina on a whole nother.
The same girls that say they can't forgive it, they be forgiving and forgiving and forgiving.
Right. Keep it real. Keep it real, man. They keep it real. Okay. Let's move on to some true or false. So I'll start it off here. The most important thing a man brings in a relationship is his money. True or false?
False.
Okay.
Ooh, let me ask you this one. The Atlanta Falcons will win the Super Bowl in the next 5 years.
False.
Ooh, you ain't riding with the Dirty Birds? You ain't riding with the Dirty Birds?
I don't think they're going to do it in the next 5 years.
Bijan? Okay. All right, I got another one. And real quick, before I say this, well, I heard from a pretty reliable source about this next statement. So we'll see how reliable it is. So true or false?
Okay.
When Sabrina was a child, you used to sling chips, candy, juice, and braid hair out the same house. True or false?
True.
She's been hustling out for a long time.
Trap or die, okay?
Trap or die.
At least they know when to walk in. They ain't know what was going on.
I got what y'all need. What you want? You hungry? You thirsty? Need your hair done? What's up?
Right. I love that, man. So last one here. We're gonna close out. It's a fill in the blank. In 5 years, Sabrina Parr will be blank.
A multi-millionaire.
Ooh. She said it was such like
heavy on the multi.
Heavy on the multi.
Real heavy. And yet yesterday was 10-17 too.
Shout out to Gucci Mane, man. Real heavy.
Real heavy.
Know how it
real
is,
heavy.
man.
Real heavy.
Yeah, that's a bar. I love how quick you answered it. It's like, I believe it. You know what I'm saying? So some people say they answer and they kind of like hesitant. They kind of, you said that and I felt it and you put it in the atmosphere. So now it's going to happen. So Sabrina, man, we appreciate you so much. This has been a fun show. Like, I want to have you back on at some point because I got 1,000 more questions about relationships now. And shout out to you being the prophet, being the voice of the voiceless. Please keep speaking for the brothers out here trying to watch a good game on Sunday. And before we close out here, I want to give you time to just shout out anything you got going on. I know you got a big time podcast about to drop, so use this time to shout out whatever you got going on.
Yes, so I don't know when this is going to release, but just yesterday I teased my very first podcast called Love of the Game, where I've combined sports and relationships. And I'm just really excited. It's long overdue. You ever know something that was long overdue but happened at the exact same time that you needed it to? So something I've been thinking about and I've been working on. And I just said, you know what? When I saw that football video go viral the way that it did, was simply me just being who I was, I said it's time. And so It's going to be so enjoyable. The concepts, I'm going to interview mostly athletes, current, retired, you know, whatever. And we're not just going to talk sports. We're going to really talk about relationships and how to be in relationships with athletes, because I think that's the big thing that a lot of men and women do not know how to do. They don't know what they're signing up for when they date these athletes. So really excited with that. And I partner with the FUBU for Us by Us Network. So we can really do some big things, and it's going to be on every platform. So that is the most current thing that I'm working on, and my book should be finished before the end of the year. Fingers crossed. The Freedom of Walking Away, that's also long overdue, but coming out right on time, and really just teaching people, you know, why walking away is so freeing. You know, I talk about a lot of situations I walked away from, and this is the first time I ever really get very personal with my last engagement. And, you know, I don't just talk about stuff for free. I'm gonna put it in the book, and y'all gonna have to pay for it. So, but I really tell the truth, and, you know, just really give some details of what happened in the relationship and why I chose to walk away. So those are the two biggest projects that I'm working on currently. That everything is coming out at the top of 2024. So really excited for those things.
Man. Big year coming up for Sabrina, y'all.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, man. Already setting up everything, you know, for a very successful.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. Make sure when that book drop, y'all support. We gonna support. Can't wait to hear the podcast. You were great on the mic and on the camera, so I know it's gonna be fire. Let the people know where they can find you on social media as well. I'm sure there's gonna be a couple men in here who are single who gonna be sliding your DM. So let them know where they can find you and how they can
come correct. Come correct.
Yeah, and don't come saying this is my pet peeve in my DMs, y'all. My DMs are open. I'm okay. Like, I'm not stuck up. But don't come at me talking about, oh, you probably never talk to me, because I stray away from insecure men that lack confidence. Like, if you say that, you're right, because I need you to be confident and to be sure that you even can talk to me. Right. And then don't get there and I respond and then you don't have anything else to say. So if you feel intimidated, if you feel like I'm out of your league for whatever reason, I apologize, but like, just find somebody else, okay? Because let's just save each other's time. But nonetheless, for those who are ready to just talk to me woman to woman, if you just want to talk about your girl, or if you just want to get to know me, you can find me at Get Up to Parr. That's Parr with 2 R's on social media. All of my information is there.
Come on there. There it is, man. Women, men, whatever. Man, if you try to shoot your shot, shoot it for real. Like, and be real though with it. Don't be out here.
Yeah, because I can smell the fakeness from a mile away. Like, I can sniff it out.
She done seen it all, y'all. Don't try to fake it.
Don't be done it all.
Tell it what it is, man. You know, and be confident. If you miss the shot, do it with confidence, man. So
yeah, I like a shooter. I don't like nobody who just dribble the ball. I like shooters.
Come on, keep doing it. It's gonna go in eventually, maybe. So
you're gonna miss 100% that you don't take.
Come on, man.
You see my dog back there.
What are you doing? You know, it's my favorite player of all time, and he gonna shoot that thing. So yeah,
shoot that thing.
I love it, man.
Absolutely.
So, man, appreciate you, man. A great show. Make sure everybody tune in. Hit the subscribe button. We're everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Follow us on our YouTube channel, The Porch Podcast, and also the same thing on Caffeine TV. And Bolo, how do we end every single show, my brother?
Sabrina, we appreciate you. It's all about raw simplicity, and let the world know that every time you look in the mirror, you just make sure that the best you
is the best you. And we out. Peace.
Started on the porch, that was where it all began. Had to put in work, every day we got it in. We chased all our dreams and now they can't believe it. We make it look easy, we achieving everything we needed. Now we undefeated. If we link, no, it's only business. If we get to speak and leave them speechless. I did things for free, but now it costs to see me. When you see me, you ain't gotta greet me. Just don't plot to sneak me. I'ma see it, I'ma stop and watch you lose and get defeated. What do we bleed? Came from the jungle, we humble but hungry and hunting to feed. People don't want us to leave. They love us and rush to the bus when we run in the streets, thinking we stunning the sea. We came from nothing to something, now up in the lead. Now we ain't coming in peace, hunting for blood and to crush everyone in the league. We got a reason, we put in work every day of the week, every month, every season. So many schemes, had to go hard for the team. We gave our all and succeeded. Came from the deep end, warming up pots, cooking ramen. At times that was all we was eating. Now we be feasting, 5-star restaurants every week. Whole team dripped in cloth and it's seamless. They looking hard when we step on the scene. jump off and splash for the heat. Live for the day, cause the past can determine the future of where you gon' actually be. Keep staying present, our presence a blessing. It's all that we have and we actually need. I'm taking action with passion, detaching the ones who keep acting attached to leech. I am no pastor, but actually preaching. Look up these lyrics and actually read them. That was where it all began. Had to put in work, every day we got it in. We chased all our dreams and now they can't believe it. We make it look easy, we achieving everything we needed. Now we undefeated. If we link, no, it's only business. If we get to speak and leave them speechless. I did things for free, but now it costs to see